So my presentation today is about the Grand Teton National Park. That is the park I chose. So the Grand Teton National Park is located in Wyoming. It's very close to Yellowstone. This is the Yellowstone border up here. And this is the Grand Teton National Park border. And the Grand Teton National Park is most well known for its stunning mountain range and for having a variety of wildlife. Um, yeah, and then so it's located in the top corner of Wyoming. The Wyoming-Idaho border is like right over here as well. So just an overall geography is the 2.7 billion year old metamorphic rock called Genesis, which is this right here, this rock, makes up much of the Teton Range. These rocks were So it's this rock right here. These rocks were buried 18 to 20 miles deep because of two tectonic plates crashed into each other. The depth of these rocks were buried at created intense heat and pressure, which changed the rocks into the more zebra-y look we see today, with the light and the dark layers. And then 2.5 billion years ago, the molten magma began to come through cracks of the rocks. And then with lifting and stretching of the plates and the lifting of the plate tectonics, you are able to see all of these changes that the rocks have gone through. And the uplifting has been happening, has been happening for about 10 million years, started happening about 10 million years ago. And because of that, the Tetons are actually considered a very young, adolescent mountain range. So the geological features I chose to talk about today are Jenny Lake, the Teton River, the Teton Fault, and Mount Moron. Okay, so Jenny Lake, this is the view from up above. This is the whole lake right here. So Jenny Lake is one of the most visited sites in the national park. This lake you can see Huon Mountain, Mount St. John, Cascade Canyon, the Valley of Jackson Hole, Hidden Falls, and Inspiration Point. So there's lots of views to get when you go to Jenny Lake. There are also many trails that you can start at Jenny Lake. Just kind of like the fun facts about it. So this is overview picture of Jenny Lake. There's a trail that goes like all up and back in here and around, and the Hidden Falls are like right up in here. And then this is from the shore, like by the visitor center. Just looking at all the beautiful mountains. And then this is like a map of where it's at. So we've got Jackson Lake up here, and then you've got Jenny Lake down here, and so Jackson Hole, the Snake River, all down here. So it's just kind of like in the middle-ish of the park. And some of the more geology about the lake is that the lake is fueled by a glacier, and you can't walk up and go see glaciers because they are obviously like up here in the mountains, but you can walk up and you can see some waterfalls, and that if you've ever touched the water, it's very, very cold because it is coming from a glacier. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is actually the Teton River. So the Teton River is actually super interesting. So here's a little map of it. So it's 64 miles long, and then so the Teton River feeds into Henry's Fort, which then feeds into the Snake. Um, so it flows from Teton Valley on the west side of the range and along the border of Idaho and Wyoming. So starts up back in here and goes down, right down, and along the border, um, Idaho and Wyoming with the location. Um, and then it just feeds into Henry's Lake right there, as you can see. Sorry, Henry's Fork. And then Henry's Fork feeds into the Snake River. And one of the coolest things about the Teton River is because of where the river is located, um, like by the Tetons on the west side of the Tetons. The Teton River receives the most rainfall over all other rivers in this area. So just with the location of it with compared to the mountains, that's pretty cool. And these are just some pictures of the Teton River. Okay, and we got Mount Moron. Um, so this one is Mount Moron. A little bit of a closer up picture right there. So this is kind of like a location of where it is map. So the Grand Teton is right here, and this is Jackson Lake. So Mount Moron is just a little bit, again, Grand Teton right there, and then Mount Moron right there. So Mount Moron is one of the peaks of the Teton mountain range. It stands at 12,610 feet, and it dominates the northern end of the Tetons. Because, again, Grand Teton is right there, and Mount Moron is on the north end. Moron has many active glaciers, and you can see some of them even right here, and in these big, you can even see them right there. One of its very noticeable glaciers is the Skillet Glacier, sitting on the peak's east side. So this one right here, which is super, super cool. Okay, and then the Teton Fault is the last feature I want to talk about today. So the Teton Fault, something super cool about it is that it actually is still active, and it's capable of having an earthquake of a magnitude up to 7.5, which is really big, which is pretty crazy. And another really cool thing about it is that you can actually see the fault line up on the mountains. If you obviously have to have very good eyes for it, but it's pretty cool thing. And the best place to see this view is from the Cathedral Group turnout by the Jenny Lake scenic route. So you could see the fault and see Jenny Lake all at the same time. Some pretty cool geologic places. And another super cool thing about this is, so again, you got that stretch, you got the Teton Fault there on the mountain range, and you got the fault there, and Jenny Lake is right there too. So you got the fault and Jenny Lake and Jackson Lake. Oh, it's kind of like around here, but that's where you can like see the mark. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And something else that's really cool about it is geoscientists have dated the most recent earthquakes at about 5,900, 8,000, and 10,000 years ago, which is very cool. Okay, and then there are my references. Thank you.